Hey there, my fellow Dread Knights. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages. Episode 37. Hold Fast Against the Fleshbeasts, Part 1. At the start of the stream, I'm going to have you guys vote for a new priority, and also to let you know that I've raised the Anomaly threat from 50% to 70%. So we have more threat coming in. We'll see how that goes. What do you want me to build next? There isn't a lot left to do on the island. I will consider at some point maybe annexing more territory outside of the initial keep, but I don't think we are really needing that right now for the amount of labor that it would cost. So we could do workshops. The idea of the workshop is to get this stuff here, mostly a forge, to have a standalone forge for additional bridges. I think that would probably be, if I was to put a thumb on the scale, the most worthwhile investment that we could make. Because this bridge here is incredibly effective against things that are coming to attack us, but the other bridges are really not. So if you had more of this style bridge elsewhere in the other cardinal directions, we would definitely be able to handle threats better. The defense is there, and I mentioned this before, but the idea was to have some sort of like trap corridor within the base, so that when things go real wrong, when we're being overrun, we can fall back to a trap corridor and have a bunch of like spike traps help us. We could also build a dedicated brewery, and if we built a dedicated brewery, it would also be for venting. I would set it up for wine as well, or improve plumbing and bathrooms. So the concept there is we have the ability to make saunas, and then we also have the ability to have septic tanks. So if you think we should improve that, we can. I just turned on the pemmican over here, and the reason for that is we have a lot of meat that can't go in the racks, so I might as well just like pemmican it up. And we'll see what you end up voting on. I'll give you 2.5 more minutes to vote in this current poll about what to build, and then I'll embark upon it. Another thing I would like to do, we do have one proximity detector over here covering this entryway, and what I was hoping to do is to get another one down here. So I'm going to build the proximity detector now, figure out how much bioferrite I have once it's built, and then run a cable as close to this door as possible. If I could get proximity detectors covering even the start of the bridges, that would be so much better. Being able to know when shriekers and other anomalous entities are coming to mess with me. Because we have really only found sight stealers, or shriekers as I just call them, but there's obviously other entities here that we are going to need to uncover. Another thing I would like to do is we did recently research oak trees. So what I'm going to do is Oak Grove 1. I'm going to start planting the oak within the walls of our base. No, I want the farming spot. There we go. So that way, if we ever need an emergency wood, we've got it. Ooh, a volcanic winter. Okay. Well, it is it's still summer, so I shouldn't have any crop loss. Alright, taking a look. 3, and I'll wait for that to be a 3. So I've got 6 bioferrite plus the 6 that I had in stock. So I can add 12 cables towards the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I'll position the proximity detector as far south as I can go. And as I get more bioferrite harvested from the tough spikes, I will expand that. Is it going to get chilly? We'll see. I mean, it's not cold yet. The volcanic winter doesn't really change the ambient temperature that quickly, that harshly. So, I think we'll be fine. Seems like you guys want another bridge. Which bridge? Northwest, southwest, southeast. Now, normally I would argue that the opposite bridge from the one we have would be the most useful, meaning this one. But this one doesn't really point to a whole lot of land. And I don't see a lot of enemies come in this way. Maybe I'm wrong. It's hard to actually tell because I have so low visibility as to how the enemies actually enter the map. This is obviously the shortest way. This is the easiest to build because it's straight. And then this is, I don't know, maybe the least useful, but you can still vote for it. I don't really care. All right, there we go. We're starting to plant our oak groves. And I'm going to cut down all these trees and then plant a new grove on top of it. Lilin and Avalka are probably trying to go through the meat that is spoiling, turning into pemmican. We are also stocking up again with our for our herbal medicine, because we were rather low. I might want to shrink my Rafflesia plots here, because I have a lot of Rafflesia leaves, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I have 638 petals. So that is very much not the bottleneck to alchemy. So I'm going to expand Psychoid and shrink Rafflesia. Medic, why are you not... I'm missing Bioferrite? Oh, I guess the 6 I had counted... Alright, I get it. Well, this, like, kind of covers the door, but really not really. We'll just need a lot more Bioferrite. And it looks like a northwest bridge seems to be the popular choice. So if that's the case, let's go ahead and start cutting blocks, not resources. And I'll have to come up with a design. So the design for the burn area requires soil, right? It requires sand or dirt or something like that. Because we aren't able to put flammables on the constructed bridge. Which means either I build it here and up, like up and over, or down here. And it's more or less about total distance. So if I built it here, if we had the chem drench hay and then the wood here, what is the total distance, roughly speaking? So like 20, 40, 60, 80? Something like that. Obviously, it would be more diagonal, but that would be a rather expensive bridge. It's also, like, rather inefficient to walk, because I could build it here, but I would have to, like, cut into this area and then, like, replace granite windpipes. I mean, maybe that's worth it. Now that I look at it, that's not like a terrible plan, is to put the chem drench here and the wood here, cut my walls in here, move this wind turbine elsewhere. I could put a wind turbine, like, around here, no problem, because there's no terrain blockers and it's already stone, so it's not like anything's going to grow. And then more or less follow this bridge that I had going before. And perhaps what I'll do is I'll have you guys vote on the various options. So option number 1 is going to be here. Option number 2 is going to be here. And then option number 3 would be down here. So option number... Oh, wow, I'm really bad at painting numbers. Roman numerals. Let's go. Option number 3 is chem drench here, and then, like, basically a straight bridge. Looks like we could get there in about 60. Or 55 or so. So have you guys choose where to build it. And while you vote on that, I know I'm going to need to amass... Well, I have a lot of hay grass, And we have a lot of hay grass growing, so that is kind of covered. But I know that I'm going to need to grab a whole lot of wood and stone. So wherever it's going to be built, I know I'm going to need to max out on granite. Granite's going to be in high demand. Looks like the farm is doing just fine, despite the volcanic winter. So the volcanic winter is making it a little bit darker, but we don't have solar panels, and it's making it a little bit colder, but it's not all that cold. So ultimately, it doesn't seem like it really matters. I'm going to call this poll early. It looks like option number 3 is going to be the popular one. It's leading by enough. So let's start that. What that's going to look like is, let's try to like make it as much like this one as possible, right? So this one has 6x4 chem drench, which we could put here. And I will make this like a hay grass. And then it has the same, I think, 6x4 wood. That didn't help. So this will be the area that we're trying to build it in. And then behind that, we've got a door. So let's start laying this out, right? And then I think this door is the grand doors. So it would go here as like a portcullis grand door. And then this isn't exactly centered. I mean, because it's 6. So maybe what I'll do is I'll like correct for that. And this one will be 5. So it's more centered than the previous. But then the grand door doesn't... No, I'll just have it uncentered. I don't care. Gonna go also with option 3 directly west. I mean, I could, but it doesn't link to anywhere. Which is why I wasn't gonna do it. Like, links to, like, dead space. I guess I'll just have it be as straight as possible. And obviously, parts of this are going to have to be removed as a result of the wooden bridge. So, behind the arquebus area, at the very least, because this part doesn't matter... it's like a 21, so it's like a 7 deep, something like that. And then this here can link up back to here. We'll have it be like something like that in the end, but this is the very least important part of the connection. So it's not, or you know what? We could even do it like to cut down on walking time. We could have it cut into here. Because if it's a door here, it's not going to be frequented by enemies anyway. It'll be closed. So something like that. So when enemies are incoming, we can muster here at the arquebuses. I'll probably have a door here for an escape, so we're not like trapped in here. I'll put the escape door behind, you know, like back here. So we had a wooden door and then a castle large. It's like a wooden door that leads to an airlock with a large castle door for us to like get out quickly. Something like that, where then this links back to here. Where this here is a... maybe uranium door. That way there's a way to get out of this mustard trap. If that makes sense. And this is rather long. But I think it's fine. I mean, this will work. And it will be... because this path, despite how long it is, I think is a shorter path than, like, fording the pond. So, let's start working on that. And I'm going to forbid these sections, because they're... if we built them first, they're just going to get in the way. So for this project, we're going to want to move our granite blocks here. And then the bridge itself requires some steel, so we're going to want to move our steel here. And just getting as many people on this project as possible. So, taking a look at our zoning. Our close zoning actually allows us to have our brawlers basically work on this entire project, which is perfect. Because the close zoning allowed for the bridges, so this overlaps the bridge, seems fine. You love how the grow shrooms look? Yeah, they're pretty nice. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to work on the center bridge first, so that it's like a functional, oh, come on, a functional walkway. That way I can phase out the wooden one, and then I'll build the walls on it. Mike's still like, I'm not converting. Oh, muscle parasites for Roy, Ginger, McGee, and Mike. Lovely. I'm glad I've been growing a ton of heal root, because, oof. And it might be time for us to consider firing up, the hearths. So I'm going to start lighting the hearths. I'm going to have a hearth and, like, a passive cooler to make sure it doesn't get too hot. But lighting the hearths because, the volcanic winter is dropping the ambient outside temperature pretty low. And if it gets any lower, like if we're pushing into the 30s for Fahrenheit, the high 30s, I'll harvest the cotton and the corn early, rather than lose it. Okay, Lilin, let's have you go do some tending. There we go. Well, I suppose working in the pond doesn't really matter when you're already super wet. God, the meat rot. Quite an annoying noise. The constant bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, they're really going for it. So we're already out of granite. That does not in any way surprise me. What I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to quarry up more. So I'm going to have that maybe as a 3 priority for everyone and see how that works out. So when people have downtime, they just start quarrying up resources. Let's also hit Klein with a work drive. Klein being the quarry master. And I'm going to take him off of constructing. so that he's just like plowing through the, and I'm not even going to do haul mode. Like, forget even hauling the stuff that we get. Just leave it there, someone else will do that. Check the temperature in the dry room before it goes bad. Yeah, I don't have a campfire in there, do I? Good call. It would also not be a bad idea to try to collect some more of the wood that I had cut, if there is more wood out here. And if not, get back to cutting the wood in the tree cutting zones, because our strategic stockpile of wood is rather low. So to that end, the growing the plant cuts, yeah, they're a higher priority than the quarry, so they ought to get that done. And I can see it happening, so I know the priorities are right. Now, as soon as this structure is done, I'll build these walls, because if I can lure enemies in here where this is ready to be fired up, it will work as a fire trap even when everything else is not ready. And then I think the other one I had flagstone. Okay. So for our movement speed, I definitely want to spend the resources in order to flagstone this thing up so that we can traverse our trap quickly. Because if we can't functionally get to the trap before the enemies get there, it doesn't serve much of a purpose. You know, if no one's there to set fire to the ground or whatever, then big whoop. Trap didn't work. Additionally, I think it would be a wise idea to have a door here that allows us to go down, and a door here that allows us to go down. Gives us more flexibility for moving about. And then likewise, probably one here to go up this way, because these arquebuses are going to be removed, as will this bridge once it's done, as will like this whole jut out thing. So maybe we'll eventually just have a watchtower there, depending on our population and how many guards we've got. Okay, we have a siege. You found out there's a siege camp belonging to the ritual lord set up near your location. They seem to be gathering a number and will imminently attack your colony at the Dreadfort. If you choose to attack preemptively, you only need to face 5 hunters, 3 men-at-arms, 16 militia, 18 archers, 1 halberder, 2 bannermen. Only. And if we wait, it gets worse. Well, shoot. This might be a case. So, like, what is this? 10, 26, 27, 37, 45 enemies if we sally out. And then 50, 60... God, I don't know. The thing is, I can abuse the, like, I think I'm going to sally out. I think I have a plan. I think if I get Major and one other person, the Marksman Command, and I stack Marksman Command with Warbows, we will shred them before they get too close, giving us a method to be able to whittle down their numbers in more or less a safe way. The problem is, I don't really know who I want to set up as a marksman. Major was one of our marksmen, but like, if I have it Lilin, then I only have 1 cook, and like 2 planners, and if I have it Avalka, I guess she would stop cooking. You know, I guess Avalka makes the most sense, because she's a trigger-happy jogger, but she's also our leader. It's kind of gross, no matter what we do. Who should our second marksman be? Because I think we're going to need one. We're going to need double-stacked marksman command. I mean, hypothetically, it could even be Mike, I guess, and have Mike ditch armor, because Mike is a shooter. Right? And Mike doesn't do a ton of other things that are important. So I can add Mike to the poll, too. And that just means we need to get another brawler. So, the reason for Valga. She's probably our best shooter. She's a prize archer. She's trigger happy and a jogger. Oh, to back this up a little bit if you want to wait to vote. So, being a marksman, like having the role in the first place, gives you a bonus of shooting accuracy and aiming time. And then the marksman command ability. So you aim faster, which if you're already trigger happy is like a really powerful bonus. Because trigger happy and aim time means you basically don't spend aiming, you just keep firing. And then the marksman command ability itself is boosting the accuracy of the people within the range. So the idea is that you'd have overlapping marksman command so that like everybody has massive bonuses, so that we're just hitting our targets quickly. With that said, I think it's going to be really wise for us to get another warbow. If Mike is going to be joining the archers, which I really don't think is a terrible idea, as I guess you guys are roughly agreeing with me, she is too smart, meaning she'll learn shooting quickly. And she wasn't contributing a whole lot of other things to the colony. Like, she was a builder, but, not the best by any means. Right? She was the, fourth best builder. So it's a lot less to lose than the second cook or the third planter. So that was sort of my argument for that. She is, however, about to lose her mind. Oh my god. Because you have muscle parasites. Yeah, that's the other big risk. Is because we got hit by muscle parasites, our movement sucks, and our manipulation took a big hit. So the people that are muscle parasitic are just not going to be super useful in this upcoming fight, which unfortunately is McGee, one of our archers, Ginger, another archer, and potentially Mike if she becomes an archer. So it's just like a perfect storm of terrible timing of everything, which is like, hey, guess what? Like, 3 of your archers are now, sick. It's like, oh, cool. Could I remove the roll after the attack? Yes, I could. I do think it would be wise for me to have 2 dedicated rolls, though, because they're overlapping aura bonuses, or staggering them. So I can use them more liberally. The staggering bonuses could be really useful. Also, on top of that, we have just hit the temperature threshold I was worried about, so I'm going to queue up the plant harvests. But yeah, alright, Mike is definitely going to be our other. So, assignments. Mike, you're now an archer. And Medic will try to make you a bow. Maybe. Hey, Medic, go make a bow. And the better the bow is, obviously the more useful it will be. I'm hoping for another masterwork. So I think I've set this bill up to just make masterworks. So we'll just keep grinding them out until we get a masterwork. So I think the real threat, honestly, is the fact that we've got the muscle parasites, because it's going to cause a lot of mood problems and movement problems and manipulation problems. It's just, oh man. Did not want to be besieged, but oh well. Is there a minimum skill for the role? Yes, there is. It is a shooting 6. She's already shooting 7, so she meets the minimum. And once she's up, I'll assign the role. Can she become... Oh, that's a good question. Because of the different ideology. Yeah, that actually might be Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but you're right. I don't think she'll be able to take the role. Right? Because she's the wrong... Oh! Oh, huh. Interesting. Yeah, no, she can't. What is her... Okay, so if that's the case, obviously she's gonna remain a brawler. Bummer. Darn. Thought I was being smart there. What is the cooldown on conversion ritual? 7 days? Yeah, it's not helpful, because we need to be out there by 5. Or 4 now. Her ideology doesn't have a role. That was the other thing, is like, maybe I could somehow, but no. Okay. The other thing I could do is none. I'm going to add a none option in here if you don't think we need another specialist. They could also lose the role as soon as they get home. That's not unreasonable. So like a Valka, for instance, or not a Valka, like Lilin, for instance, temporarily being a marksman specialist and then ditching the role as soon as she's back. That also means that as soon as this warbow is done, I'm going to freeze the bill because I don't need another warbow. Alright, I see Lilin cutting down trees. Good, good, good. I'm going to pause the tree cutting, though, because we need to do the harvesting. So although this was useful, I think we need to make sure our crops don't die. I know it's 51 now, but tonight it might be too cold for the plants to survive. So I'm going to say no sowing outside of the oak and heel root zones, because I don't suspect that they'll survive. In fact, stop sowing that right now, because you need to be harvesting that stuff. And I'll assign the role to Lilin if Lilin is the winner, but only when the farm has been tended to, because obviously having an extra person help out with the farm work for now is more important than her having a role and not doing anything with it. What are we building on the East Coast? Nothing? Alright, we have Psychoid. Was that the inspiration? No, that was only immunization. Okay. Lilin it is. That's good enough for me. So we have got 4 days to hit the siege camp. And I'm going to want to go out there with like ambrosia and drugs and everything. Because those with muscle parasites are going to require a lot of TLC. Oh. 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 Alright, McGee. Wake up and consume ambrosia with ginger. Everyone else, animals. Serenity, stay inside. Everyone else, stay inside. Mike, Klein, and Roy. I'm going to have you go to the arquebuses. So I'm having my archers go one way and my brawlers go another. And they're coming up from pits. So Maddock, I'll have you dip outside just for like a line of sight. Alright, McGee and Ginger are headed to the drugs. Because I don't want them to have a mental break in the middle of the fight. That would be really devastating. Yeah, I can see them already coming. Alright, if that's the case... my UI disappeared. Hang on a second. Freaking... Game, why? Alright, hold on. Before I... Oh god, what is even going on? Something bad. Oh god. Help. Help. I can't close menus. Cut it out. Go away. Stop it. Well, I did manage to save the game before... There we go. Load. I'm gonna... I wonder what that bug is from. It might actually be from the mod that I'm adding trees. Now, this is scarier than Fleshbeasts? Yeah, like a little bit. Okay. And the hope here is I can... No, don't use the latrine. That I can capture some of them. Now you guys gotta fall back. And close this door on your way back in. Roy, why are you muscle parasites, huh? Maybe you go hydrate. Well, we punched the tough spike down. I'm gonna fall back to this point here. Sorry, Roy, no water for you. I'll try to give you water. Run, Ivalka, run! Don't lose a toe. You'll never get it back. Alright, so Klein is stepping up to block the door with Mike. And then Roy will be joining, like, eventually. Oh god. I hate when they do that. Gonna do some quick tending. Unfortunately, two of my brawlers have parasites, which ain't great. So right now, they're, like, trying to destroy the arquebus. But I'm not too worried about that. Better that than, you know, me. And let's choke up on the gate now. Yeah, don't destroy my proxy detector, huh? Alright, taking a look at wounds. Oh, you got stabbed in the head. Yeah, that's... That warrants medicine. Alright, the tough spike we're standing on. Dead in 6. Manic. Capture tough spike. I also don't have a shard inhibitor for this cell, so getting one would be... Oh, no, I do. Never mind, I take it back. Didn't see it. So once... Oh my god, you are so slow. What is your movement speed right now, dude? 44? Good lord. I have like horrible sciatica right now and I still move faster than that. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld The Darkest Ages, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow knights.